Every year, people purchase mass-produced products to put in their house during the different seasons and holidays. If you own a laser cutter, how can you design and make something original and unique to sell for the winter? Today, I'll show you how I design and make a layered snowflake ornament with my laser cutter. The first step in creating a layered snowflake mandala is designing it in your preferred software. I use one called Rhinoceros. I start by drawing reference lines for the lines of symmetry and circles to help guide the pattern of the snowflake. I draw the lines at 15-degree increments, but you can adjust this for your own design. The circles are drawn at 8, 6, 4, and 2 inches. These reference lines, shown in blue, will be hidden when I finalize my design. The next part of my design process is coming up with a rough outline of this snowflake design. I start by drawing lines and adding them to a block. Then, I copy the block around the entire circle to make sure that the lines are connecting without any overlaps. By double-clicking on one of the blocks, I can now add, remove, draw, and trim lines to develop my design. This part of the design process takes some effort because you have to imagine how all the lines will connect with one another when the block is complete. If it's too hard to think about what it'll look like, just complete the edits in the block and it'll update and show you what the design looks like. Then, go back into the block and adjust the lines until you're satisfied. With the draft design complete, my next step is to refine the thickness and openings of the snowflake by adjusting each of the lines. Originally, I wanted the thickness of each piece of the snowflake to be 1/4 inch, but I decided to make it thinner and reduced all the different connecting lines to 1/8 of an inch. I also modified the pattern of the snowflake and adjusted the lines at the center. Instead of a circle, I updated the design to a star. The last part of the design process in Rhino is to copy the snowflake over so that we always have the original design in the project, then copy the design down. Since this is a layered mandala ornament, we'll offset all of the lines for the inner cutouts by 1/16 of an inch inwards so we can layer them and add depth to the project. When I'm satisfied with the design, I export the snowflakes and open it in Adobe Illustrator, where I bring the two snowflakes together onto one board and export it as an SVG file for laser cutting. I'll make this file available where you can pay what you want starting at $1, which I'll link in the description of this video. After exporting the file and setting it up for laser cutting with Adobe Illustrator, I upload it to my Glowforge interface. For this project, I'll be using 1/8 inch maple and walnut plywood because the contrast between them will add depth to the ornament. I insert the first sheet into my Glowforge, align the design with the material in the online interface, adjust my cut settings, and start the process of cutting each layer. One thing you want to be sure about is that the material you're using has a protective paper masking tape on it to protect the surfaces from scorches, burns, and debris blown by the air assist fan on a laser. If you don't have paper masking tape and you're using unfinished wood for your project, you can simply sand down the surface with a palm sander after the pieces are cut. Another tip for projects like this one is to either test or watch the laser cutting through the material to ensure that it's cutting all the way through. If you've been using a laser cutter for some time now, you'll probably have your own preferred settings and could disregard this advice. If you're interested in getting a Glowforge laser cutter, which is great for beginners, I'll share my referral link in the description section of this video, which will get you up to $500 off of a Glowforge Pro. Once the layers of the snowflake mandala are cut, I place it on my desk and use the back of a paintbrush to separate the pieces that I don't need for this project. Then, I remove the paper masking tape to reveal the beautiful maple and walnut plywood. This part of the process is exciting because we get to see the wood finish and separate snowflake layers. I organize the layers in the order that they'll be layered and bring over my Maxi Cure superglue. I apply a small amount of glue onto the backside of one piece, align the outer edges with the layer beneath, and press it down firmly. I go around the entire assembly and continue pressing down to ensure that the two pieces are joined. Once the glue dries, you can display the layered mandala snowflake or tie a string through one of the holes and hang it on a Christmas tree as an ornament. If you want to make one of these layered snowflake ornaments for yourself, you can check out the links in the description section of this video for the file and up to $500 off of a Glowforge Pro. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.